So he was actually locked in champ select, which was like just griff by me. I thought it was Flood in my lane, and then I don't think Scorch is good, but yeah.
Okay.
And versus the Tristana, I probably should have gone Gathering Storm, and versus LeBlanc, I think Scorch is good.
Okay. Alright.
But yeah, my runes are not really good at the moment. I'm just trying out stuff, seeing how they feel, how they like behave.
Yeah. Alright, and then it's like, in general, what is like your goal with the game right now?
I mean, I wanna get better,
but...
like better in general, so that I can like coach better. Because well, I'm probably not gonna make it as a pro player because I'm just not good enough in that sense. And I just wanna get like understand the game more because yeah, if I would understand the game better, I would not be Diamond 1.
Yeah, that's probably true. Alright.
Yeah.
So, what is like your thought process going into this kind of game?
My thought process here was that I want to like stabilize the game, try to match the Tristana push, and I was trying to figure out like the how far I can push limits in lane, because if she messes up, I think the lane I can potentially kill her before first spec, before she gets lifesteal, and then I want to play into the bot lane, because like the Mundo Gwen line I don't think I can really touch, and if I can make it so that the Kog'Maw Janna is not as strong and the Ezreal can play, then I can play through that.
So the goal is to poke out this guy and then try to have
some at least neutralize his pyro. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, my take on Ziggs, like as a champion, by the way, in solo queue, is that the champion is like OP, but it's hard to carry games with it.
Yes.
Because a lot of the time you're just gonna end up without agency in the game, I think. So that's something to be aware of. Like, if you play the champion, I think you're gonna lose with it a lot as well. Like, and some games you just can't carry based off how your champion works.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, don't judge my lane face. But no, do it. It's really shit.
No, I mean, like the general goal, right? You're saying is, okay, we want to poke out this guy. How should we do so?
Let's set up the minions in a way that I can queue her when she last hits.
Well, that's one thing, right? And it's like in general, right? Like, for me, it's like if she has to push permanently, then we cannot control her HP bar, right? That's like the most important thing. Because it doesn't matter if she's like half HP, right? You're not gonna kill her either way, agreed? So
yes.
If she just has to push because she's focusing the wave more than we are, then she can just decide whenever she wants to reset.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So us poking this guy directly and ignoring the wave does nothing. It just plays into what this guy wants to do, right? Because he wants to have the push and he wants to have agency in the game, right? With said push.
Yeah.
Because when Tristana champion gets ahead in tempo, I mean, I did a few Tristana coaches already, but when this champion gets ahead in tempo, it takes over games super easily, right?
Yes.
So we don't want her to get ahead in tempo. So for example, like already level 1, right? I mean, it's not like I hate the Q. I think the Q is misintent because you try to hit her when you can't hit her, right? But it's
I want to hit her on the minion at the same time because she positioned the other way, and that's yeah.
But I would like attack minions, you know, like because now I think we're just giving push. Unless we plan on like letting her crash on like second wave, for example, or even the first wave here, we could just reset the wave state for all I care.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a bit awkward. And now, I mean, I don't really know what we decide to do here. This looks a bit awkward.
I wanted to get, I tried to get the minions in tower range so that the left one goes into tower range first, and then I can queue the other ones with the passive reset and farm all 3 of them.
Okay, but so how you do this is you walk on this side, right? So that this minion keeps walking and these two don't.
Yeah, I grief the execution of it.
Yes.
But that was my plan.
Yeah, but it's like you don't just walk straight back, right? Because I mean, we can even see the formation the minions are walking in, right?
Yeah, no, I thought I could get the mid aggro first of the mid end and then walk up because the other one was far further away, but I missed the spacing. Yeah. And it's obviously way easier if I just walk to the bottom.
Yeah. I don't love this W. I think it's quite awkward.
I mean, the idea was to prevent her auto attack for the last hit.
Yeah, I mean, that makes some sort of sense, right? But my problem with it is that if, like, she should have leveled W, agreed?
Yes.
Compared to her, like, her HP matters somewhat, but not that much, right? Because it's like she's gonna have absorb life, like she's gonna have, like, in general fleet as well, right? These kind of things, right? So her HP doesn't have that high value, and she also gets the push a lot of the time, especially if we try to poke her down.
I mean, I can never push unless I wanna die.
Right, but it's like, my point is that when we have W, we have some sort of counterplay, right? But when we don't have W, now there's nothing that says that she can't jump on us anymore.
Yes.
right? And this is the entire safety in our champion. It's not a lot of safety, but it's all we have. So we kind of need to save it, you know, unless we're planning on like giving up the lane.
Yes, I agree. That's something I figured out like 20 minutes in this game. I will mess it up a few times and eventually I will start holding it.
Okay, because it's like, in general, then it's important to ask ourselves about these kind of matchups, right? Like, okay, like obviously Cracky does this kind of coaching, but in general, just how we think about matchups is more important, right? Like in that sense, right? Because it's like, okay, well, what is his win condition in the matchup, and what is your win condition in the matchup, right? And what are your strengths, and what are his strengths? And one of Tristana's strengths is that he can literally jump on you and one-tap you whenever he wants, right?
Yeah.
So we have to prevent that somehow, right? I mean, yesterday I coached Silhouette, right, for example, right? And then it's like, he played Syndra versus Arcera, and I told him, you need to stop using Syndra, right? Because Arcera will just shuffle you every single time, right?
Yeah, no, it's the same story.
Exactly, it's the exact same thing, right? And this is something we just need to recognize, right? Are we the aggressors in the matchup, or is he the aggressor? Because if he is the aggressor, right, then all of a sudden we need to have a defensive ability, right? And if we have none, we probably lose the matchup instantly, right?
Yeah, because here he should jump on me.
Right.
If he's not scared of Shaco.
Right. And maybe he's scared of the Shaco, and then that's great, right? And all, but like, for example, let's be honest, when he crashes the first wave like this, you agree he should have warded Raptors?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if he has warded Raptors, he shouldn't be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, he
there's
didn't,
like
obviously.
timer, but yeah, no, I agree. Like I rather griefed quite heavily here.
No, and it's not easy to play for like push in this matchup. Like, what I would look to do probably is that we look to gain a few freezes, right? Or like have the wave in this kind of position because like, here he can't jump on us, and now we try to poke him out, right? But we have to keep hitting the wave, right? Permanently. If we stop hitting the wave, then he's just gonna get the push, right? And then he's gonna crash and then he's gonna reset.
Yes.
Yeah, this is fine.
This was not good.
Yeah, I wouldn't use E like this, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's like, I think what you're doing up until this point is like good, but now you feel like, it kind of feels like you've been a bit behind in the entire lane phase, agreed, up until this point. And now it feels like you want to exploit it, and you just go too fast. Because the truth is your champion cannot play fast, right?
It's really hard.
Yeah, it's like Omega hard, right? Unless you, I don't know, you're like
guaranteed
playing like a W into Q or something, like, I don't know.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, we have to play really slow, right? And it's like, and if we kept doing what we were doing, right, we would just have an HP lead right now, and then we could keep poking our Q, because it's like, we look at this position, and if you really want to use the E to like make sure she can't play on this state of the lane, then that's fine. But for all I care, we are the higher range champion. We want her to be standing on the opposite side of the matchup. Agreed?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's like, if she's standing right here, then she can actually space us without attacks. So whenever she's standing here, we're happy, right? So we don't E her here. We intensify her, or like incentivize her to actually stand here, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I was just trying to get CS away from her, which was like a bad move there. I was like too greedy and getting too much out of the matchup.
And I get why we W, but I would just Q and then W. You know, because we can actually take a good trade here. And she gets probably one more out of, but I think it's alright.
Yeah, I should Q. And I shouldn't use E for like my mana's getting fucked very quickly now.
Yes. I guess we're greedy for Lost Chapter. Is that what we're doing?
Yes, exactly. Otherwise, I would always reset there.
Yeah, and she has what? Aqsept?
Yes.
When do we check this?
I think if you checked when she got back in lane, the moment I see her. Or like, usually I check quite fast. Maybe this time I did not.
Well, I hope you checked. I couldn't see it at least, but you obviously know when you're pressing tab at least, so.
There was a tab in between when you jumped.
No, I saw the tab. It wasn't that I jumped, it was just that fast.
Okay.
But I mean, I assume you looked at it at least, or I hope so.
Yeah, like otherwise I would not press tap. Like usually I just check it.
Yeah.
Because like that's really important because if she has Vamp Scepter, then like I'm not gonna Q her. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't make too much sense.
So what is the plan now?
Just try to neutralize the push and like try to deny lasted with the W. That's like my idea of the game.
Okay.
And then be able to like move when it matters. Otherwise, just stall. Like try to get the mana flow.
Mm-hmm.
But I will mess it up a few times. But like use too many spells and then I give her openings that she should not have.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I get that we're trying to like get the mana flow right, like you're saying, and that part is good. But I don't see why we deliberately like queue off the minions. I mean, now we don't even hit her, right? That's like one thing. Like we should be keeping track of when this guy fleet autos, right? Because there's no way we're hitting her off a fleet auto. Agreed.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I did not think about that.
So that's like one thing, because otherwise this Q hits, right? Like she just gets a movement speed from the fleet. But it's like, it also feels like this Q afterwards is fine right here, because here you hit all 3 creeps, right? And this is what you want to be doing, right?
Yes.
And it's like enemies playing Graves. Graves is not really ganking you, right? If you have your W, you actually think you can be fine, especially when Shaco is around you right here. So here I would actually contest the push, you know? But I don't see the reason for why we're like queuing her just to get the mana flow, right? And I'd rather us E her to get the mana flow, because E costs ish the same mana, but it's just a guaranteed to hit ability.
Yeah, no, I mean it looks like I don't have real intention behind it, or like I'm just playing the game without thinking about it.
Yeah, because we both agreed there's no way we're poking this guy down with Qs, and even if we do, he's just gonna one-tap the wave and move. Alright, so I think we kind of fucked ourselves here. Because like here, I mean, I get that we're moving, and that's fine, but I would queue this minion on the way out, because what you see happening here is like one thing, your wave is now freezing, because you did not kill that melee creep. If it's a range creep, it's fine.
Yes, okay.
But the melee creep can tank for a while, right? It's a bit awkward to fight here. Like, I mean, in general, I would ping us to go in here, because I think we're hard winning this fight, though. Like, but we can't, you can't step up by yourself here. But let's be honest here, if Leona goes in here and she stuns Graves or Tristana, you just bomb the living shit out of them.
True. Yeah, I should ping.
Because you can't really go in here by yourself, but they are dead.
No. All I can do is like mess with the Tristana, mess with the rest.
Yeah. So it's nice we get the Drake, right? But somehow we lose the fight when Kog'Maw is not even there, right? And their like squishes are like by themselves, and then maybe Leona can't go in, or maybe she will not listen. But yeah.
Yes.
What are we staying for here?
I thought I could get enough gold for the item, and then I'm just staying because the wave is a small one, and I don't want to give plate.
Okay. No, if we're saying to not give plate, then that makes sense. But otherwise, I mean, if it comes down to item, I don't think that's valid here. Because, like, I get you probably wanna, what is it, Fiendish Codex or the Fated Ashes is called?
Yeah, Fated Ashes.
Yeah, because it's like, for me, all I care, like, over here, like, you can just get, for example, Dark Seal plus Boots or Dark Seal Amp Tome, something like this.
Yeah.
And it's equally fine, and then you can potentially get pots as well if you feel like you need, or like a ward or something.
Yeah, no, I see. That makes sense.
And I mean, I don't love us staying for this wave. I think we just kind of get stuck here because of it. Yeah. Like, if it's not a cannon wave, it's fine to stay, like you did on the wave beforehand. But since it's a cannon wave, we can't push this, right? We don't have the mana for it.
Yeah. I just did it because Tristana went to the grubbies, and then I don't want to leave it neutral. But is it better to leave it neutral then, or no?
Yeah, I mean, you have a timer to reset here. Now you're not gonna have a timer to reset.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
I mean, now you have to burn ult, and you like miss some minions because of it, and now you one-taps the wave, and now you like, you see what I mean?
Yeah. No,
His reset is 10 times better than yours.
Yeah. No, that was when I messed it up before.
Alright, and now we actually have a move timer, so what do we want to do with it?
6 passive on it, because I don't think I can do anything on the map right now. And
But
Tristana just reset.
But you haven't looked around the map.
Yeah, I did not.
Like maybe you
At the
can't do
bottom.
anything just by looking at like some things on the minimap. Like yeah, it seems hard, but you don't know if you can like dive top lane, for example, like randomly, you know.
Yeah.
Or something like this. I'm not saying this is supposed to happen. I'm just saying that like this is
Yeah,
something you
I
could be missing out on.
I should check when HP. I agree. And I don't think I can do anything what, but yeah, I could maybe try to get vision for the gray spot instead of like just taking like half a plate.
Right. It's like we can't push out if we don't have any vision ever, right? It's like that's like one difficulty. It's the same thing with the Tristana, so if we can control a bit of vision, then that's good, of course. Because our champion can obviously, like now, we can for sure start one-tapping waves, agreed?
Yes.
So if we have some like vision on the map, especially on where Tristana is moving, then we can like easily like actually play on the map.
Yeah, no, I see.
Alright, what is the plan now?
Same plan as ever. Right now is just farm up, wait for our team to reset, let Shaco clear his top side jungle, and then play after that. Because it should be respawning soon.
Yep.
And try to deny as much CS as possible with like Ws.
What champion do you ban currently?
Kafus.
Because I imagine this is like one of the worst Ziggs matchups, at least personally. Because the way I see it, as I said, you have like zero agency. I don't think your plans that when we're talking right now are like bad in that sense. But it feels like if this Tristana wants to, he can 1v9 the game, and you have no way to counter it.
Yeah, no, I agree. The way I played it, she has no way to counter it.
No, I don't even think it's the way you play it. I just think it's hard to outplay her.
That as well. Yeah, I mean, I see that.
Right?
I mean, you think I should ban Tristana?
For example, potentially, or not blind Ziggs.
Yeah, I guess.
No, as I said, because I'm not sure about other matchups. I mean, we might look through a game where you played against LeBlanc or Corki, but I imagine these two matchups are better because at least then you can get the push.
I mean, I think Corki is a bit more annoying than Tristana.
Okay.
Honestly, like, and the LeBlanc guy just grifted, and for the I think Yasuo is probably one of the hardest matchups though.
Yeah, no, Yasuo should be hard. Yeah, I agree. No, because it's like she does everything we want to do, but better. That's kind of the way I see it. We want to push as a champion, and she outpushes us, and she also hits turrets better than us, except for like when they get low. Like at least in the early game, and it's like she skirmishes better than us, and she has better sustain, and like she can cover our range. Like she just counters our entire kit.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I do better is like stalling games when I get ganked.
Right. I mean, that's the one thing you can do, right? Is that if this guy just pushes into you permanently, you can use clear waves. But if he decides to start roaming the map, which better players will do, agreed?
Yes.
He will actually exploit the fact that you can't move on the map.
Yes.
And therefore I just feel like we lack a win condition, because our win conditions are the same as his. But his are just easier to execute on.
Yeah. I don't think I could pick Tristana on this game just because of the AD/AP spread.
No, you don't have to pick Tristana. That's not what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean though. Yeah, I can ban it and then be fine.
Yeah, I mean, potentially, and if you feel like the matchup is fine, that this is something you can climb with, then that's fine, right? But this is just what I'm noticing, because right now, we've watched a few things on this game, and obviously we make some mistakes, but it's hard to do more than you are doing in this game, just because of the matchup. Hey guys, it's Aqsept. If you're enjoying the coaching session that you're watching right now, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. I upload coaching sessions daily right now. I also upload shorts daily. And if you're interested in seeing the sessions a bit more live and asking questions while we're going on, then just remember, I always do these sessions live on my Twitch channel, so you can go follow that, link in the description. Anyways, thank you, and enjoy the video. And the Tristana hasn't been doing that much, so we get away with it. We take it, but it's not great. Alright, now we have our item though. What's the plan?
That's the plan, the same plan, and then play for the dragon on the timer, like be able to like contest for the team. I mean, there's not much that changes for me because I can't do much on the map.
Yeah.
At least I don't see anything that changes.
I wouldn't be so scared to just out-attack minions here, you know? Like, I'm not sure we can ever get the push in that sense, but it's like, for example,
as long as I have W, here, I can auto-attack.
Yeah, like throw the Q here and like out-attack the cannon minion to actually start getting that low, right? Because the cannon will take a few Qs to die otherwise. Like here we have to out-attack it anyways. I think we can kind of match our push at the moment, so.
I mean, I know what my thought process was in the moment, but I don't think it is good. I thought like I didn't want to waste passive so that I can defend when she jumps.
We can't move like we are doing here.
I think we've.
No.
She entered the bush at the top, so I still have a slight timer that she cannot jump over wall yet.
I mean, potentially, but that's just her fault in that sense, and we don't really know if she walked this way. No.
Yeah, true.
We might think that she walked this way, right? Like, and it looks like she's doing it, but she could also just be fooling us. If
that's true. Yeah, no, then I misread that.
Right, because it's like, this is a classic like thing in top lane, right? That you don't walk straight into this bush. You walk like around, and then you walk into the bush, right? And then everyone, like, especially like, I mean, higher elo players will not fall for it, right? But like, if you're a bit lower elo, people will fall for it, right? And it's like...
Then usually I don't fall for it. This specific time I do it because I saw her walk quite far in the top side of it.
Yeah, but I think either way, it's like she has a lot of time still to just jump on our head.
Yes.
And now we're scared walking back, and it makes sense why we're scared walking back, but yeah. Like, another thing that's especially scary is that we don't have our W right here, right?
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. If I have W, I can do it, I'm pretty sure.
So it's like, here, I wouldn't be as scared as before. Like, even though she might be standing in the edge of the bush.
The problem here is Graves, no?
I mean, we know where the Graves is.
I mean, yeah. Okay, no, then that's just a bad argument, yeah.
Unless we think he walked around this to try and catch us, and if he did that, then, well, fair enough. Now we see him again, so I guess so. No, but it's a bit awkward, and this is where the like vision part comes in. It's really nice if we can somehow have some sort of vision in river, right? And obviously, like, preferably we would also have people helping us out, but it's solo queue, so unlucky.
Yeah.
So how come we're walking in river here?
Because Grace fucked up and the box is protecting me enough that I can use W to jump the wall in pit.
Okay, but why are we walking through river here? What is the purpose?
To help bot lane if there's a fight, because it looks like there's a fight with the Leona the way they're moving.
Right, but you're not looking at it once again, right? If these guys are both half HP right now, is there a fight?
Then there's a dive.
I mean, potentially, yeah. My point is just that, like, it feels like we're not trying to gather information, right? And here we're about to take a bad trade because of it. And now we're zoned out of lane. Right?
Yeah.
So when we walk through this river with a champion like Ziggs, we have to make sure it's worth it, right? And it's good if we fog, but yeah, like, in general, we just want to fog so we can ult or something like this, you know? Unless we know we're safe. Because for all I care here as well, next wave is a cannon wave. If there's nothing to do on the map, we reset and we get Ionian boots.
Yeah, no, yeah, I see. I just push mid, get the prio, or reset the assist, because I cannot really join.
Yeah,
but then for me, I think I should hover, like, just fog, but don't take the river part, just fog, so that the enemies...
No, it's fine to fog if you want to do that, right? But we have to make sure we do it in a safe way, in a sense, right? And we have to make sure it's worth it, right? Because, once again, why are we fogging bot side compared to top side, right? And obviously, there's a few reasons to why we should be fogging bot side. For example, Shake was there. For example, we're playing quite aggressive. These kind of things, right? But we don't know what's going on in top lane either, and if there's a kill angle, right?
Yes. I mean, I can execute top tower just by looking at minimap.
Yeah, I mean, now you can for sure. And maybe you shouldn't be there just to do that, right? Like, maybe Mundo wants to keep playing, and you can see it's like not taking the tower deliberately right now, right? So it's like...
Yeah.
But these are things to consider. Another thing is, right, that our champion is very expensive on mana, right? So when we, like, walk here, and then, like, we have to burn a bit of mana, and then we go back, and we burn, like, basically half our mana bar on this wave. And then we burn basically the rest of our mana on this fight, and now we have to reset, right? And so now we don't have the, like, choice of taking a good reset anymore. Now, Mundo is covering us, so it's fine. But my point is just that every time,
it's
like...
not guaranteed, yeah.
Like, if you want to take a reset, and Tristana wants to take a reset, both of you can only do so on certain timers, because otherwise the other person gets a lot of damage on your tower, and you miss waves, these kind of things, right?
Yeah, so, no, I have the nuclear wave just when it arrives. That's preferably not a cannon wave.
Yeah, so here, when you kill this wave, you really have to make a decision, because the next time you can reset is in, like, 1.5 minutes by the earliest, right? You can't reset before this. If you do, you're gonna lose something.
Yes.
Right. So once again, we have to make sure that whatever the fuck we're doing is worth it.
Yeah, that just doesn't look worth it though.
No. It's like now we've tried to participate in the dragon fight. Our camera movement is a bit awkward. I'm not sure if you agree, but it's
Yes, it is.
Quite awful, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
so one thing is like you don't seem to use F keys, which I'm not gonna force you to do. Like in that sense.
I use them sometimes, but I don't like them for fighting position because then you actually don't really see what's happening.
Right, okay, so what you do is that you just gather information using the F keys, right? And you do so similar to how you do it with spacebar. So let's say like here you look over and then you might click spacebar to go back on your character, agreed?
Yes.
You do it the same way with the F keys. You just do so you can reposition. Let's say you want to see Leona and then you want to see up in the fight. It's just faster than doing so with your champion. See what I mean?
Maybe. But I feel like if you're on the minimap, it's way easier to check everything on the map if you go via minimap.
Do you mean clicking on the minimap?
Yes.
Because clicking on the minimap is not it. I promise you.
Okay.
You need to use your mouse for other things. There's a reason why people use F keys, right? And it's so that they can actually use the mouse at the same time, right?
I mean, I think it's if you're guaranteed not to be fine, I think minimap is way better for gathering information in multiple places. If you only go one place,
there's a few things, right? One, it's slower because you actually have to move your mouse over there, right?
Yes.
The other thing is that it's slower to do anything afterwards, right? So if you want to insta-ult here for some reason, you have to also pan your mouse back here and then ult. If you want to TP, same thing, right?
Yes.
All of these things take time, right? And if you have, I'm not saying you have to use F keys, as I said. For example, I like have them rebinded to mouse buttons because I find that the easiest thing to do, right? So when I want to look at my jungler, I press my first mouse button, right? And it's like quite easy to like just look around the map by doing so instead. And it's not an easy thing to get a habit of, right? And another thing is that if you think it's too slow to F key or like look at yourself and then drag across the screen in a sense, right? So for example, at the start of this fight, looking at the Shaco with F key instead of clicking on the map and then dragging, right? Let's say. If you think that is too slow, then my recommendation is you use up the camera move speed.
Yeah.
Right. I play on maximum camera move speed because I'm a psychopath. You don't have to do that.
I mean, I've pushed it up already a bit, but I haven't been to the maximum yet.
Right. And my suggestion is just like you push it up one every single game. Simple as. Because if you're not gonna feel the difference from game to game. But like after 50 games, if you go from 50 to 100, there's gonna be a big difference.
Yes. No, for sure.
No, but we both agree that the camera move speed, or like the camera speed, or not camera speed, camera control is a bit awkward, yes?
Yeah, it's not that good.
Yeah, and part of it is because we are a bit slow on it. And part of why we're slow on it is because we're clicking on the map.
Okay.
Alright, what is the plan now? Same as before?
I mean, the same as for match Tristana and moves when there's nothing to do because I can never work up like defensively cover moves.
Alright, this is one of the games where I would swap Trinket earlier. Because I don't think you can actually place any yellow trinkets in a place where you actually want them before.
I don't think I can put them in aggressive spots. I think I can put them into defensive spots, which will help like the spotting the roams better.
Yes, potentially, but it's even hard to do that. Right?
Okay.
Because let's say here, let's just say you have a ward here and you want to place it in this bush, right? This is a very natural bush to place it in, agreed?
Yes.
You don't know if Tristana is sitting here.
I do not know, yes.
Yeah, all you know is that she folk topside. Right?
Yes.
So it's like in general, it's not easy to do this, right? But if you have far sights, then it's a lot easier to cover these. And Tristana, luckily, can like move on every single timer, right? But it's like this is also why we probably need control wards to do the same thing as you would do with yellow wards.
Yeah.
Because she should just play with sweeper.
Yes,
and then yellow wards give us no advantage. Oi.
Don't watch.
Could be
Don't.
worse.
I miss everything. It's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, I would start with ult in the queue because ult is so much slower.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And it's like, well, this is a bit awful, of course, but that's shit that happens. We get 1-for-1 at least. They get mid tower,
Yeah,
that's a bit unlucky.
Yeah, but it shouldn't happen.
Do we get the spot tower?
Yes.
Yeah.
With 6, I know that the 6 turret damage.
Alright, so how do we accelerate the game now, right? Because, I mean, one thing is that we probably want to reach our Leandris, right? So I guess that's now we're one step. And after that, we have to go from somewhere. So one Leandris.
Pretty much, I want to play for like the Ezreal can play the Shaco especially, right? Like I only want to play on Shaco timer because like he's the only one that is strong.
Okay, so we want to play on Shaco timer and Ezreal timer.
And yes, exactly. And I'm just the guy that takes the vacuum cleaner and goes side lane that no one is.
But
and
how do we play with these two people?
You make sure that they can be on the map where they want to be.
But how do we do that?
By going away from them and then moving into them. Because like if he can be mid, then that's good for him.
Yeah, 100%. It's very good. Can we play side lane in this game?
I can play defensive side lane, but the enemy will always have prio.
Okay.
Like it will always survive, but
yeah, so you can only catch waves.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a bad W. I should have saved it and jumped wall.
Yes. So one big thing with our champion is that we really need position in fights. Agreed?
Yes.
If we do not have position in fights, or we cannot play slow, then we can go FF, right? Yes. Now, in comp, you can probably play slow without position, and you can kind of outplay it. In solo queue, you cannot.
Mm-hmm.
This is another reason why this build is a bit awkward this game, right? Because, well, we end up not having position on anything, right? Because, well, they are playing Tristana, they get the push, and they have more kill threat, right?
Yes.
So they use this kill threat to actually do stuff with it, right? And maybe there's another world where Shaco is Omega fed, and this is a different situation, but yeah. Because this build we have to play slow with.
Yes, we do.
And this build is probably better in competitive for that reason. But yeah. But either way, I would not, for example, take this wave. If we plan on contesting the Drake. No.
Okay.
Because here, look at, like, we're already semi-late for the Drake, right? Agreed.
Wait, but I mean, I guess it's solo queue versus comp. Because in comp, this is easily in time.
No, it's not.
Why not?
Because you want position.
You have time to take position from midwave. Drake has 12k HP. You have 7 seconds.
No, you do not have time to take position from midwave here. Because right now, what we're doing is like, Leona, I mean, obviously we can't control our teammates, right?
Yes.
But Leona is holding the wave for us to take, right? And then we take the wave. And for all I care, enemy team right now could be on midwave.
Yes.
And then they just walk in here.
Dragon.
Yeah, but who cares? We have to give up something here, right? And we do not also have position to just defend everything, right?
No. But like we will then they won't be in Drake, and then we have time to start contesting it.
Right, but they don't need to be 5 people on this midwave, right?
Yes.
Right. So it's like, sure, we can one-tap it, right? But it's like, we cannot walk through this path easily without taking damage, these kind of things, right? Their comp is a bit awkward for it, I can agree with that. And their comp kind of saves up for it, in that sense, right? So if it's comp play and they're playing this comp, you probably win anyways, agreed?
Yes.
Because here they don't have threat. So that saves you. But if they have some sort of threat, which they should have, agreed?
Yes.
Right,
then it's very different.
Right, but that's my point. It's different first because it's solo queue, so we're late because it's solo queue, agreed? Yes. And if it's comp, then you're never playing against this comp anyways. So you're late either way.
I guess, yeah.
Right. Because the truth is, if you have a mid tower, you're not late. For example, right? Because then you have some sort of position to play with. Yes. But for all I care, they could just keep going. And then flank us. And if Gwen isn't randomly losing to a Mundo, which I don't know how that is happening, right? Because that's like the worst Mundo matchup in the game. So if she's not losing to a Mundo randomly, she's also the one flanking.
Yes.
And what happens when Ezreal and Ziggs get flanked by Gwen, do you think?
FF.
Yeah, they FF. GG. Right. No, but this is my point where it's awkward to play this fight, right? Because they will always, if it's, once again, if it's comp, they will always drag out the Drake like this, right, to their side. Which means we always have to walk in here. And when we have to walk in here, I mean, obviously we're getting flanked by a random Kog'Maw, that shouldn't happen, agreed?
Yeah, that shouldn't happen, and we should have a like double like the convex concave arc set up here, and then the Drake should be on 8k HP or 9k right now.
Of course,
then
but there's so many awkward fights or things with this fight, right? Because they have so many ways to play where our backline is exposed because we have to walk into them. And the truth is, if this Drake is over here instead, and we are playing over here, they can never play.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, same thing if it's over here, I guess, but I think that's a bit more awkward.
It is.
But that is why we lose the fight, right? Because we are late. Because if we have position for that fight, I think it's playable. But your champion right now with this build, without position, and with your comp into enemy comp, you can't win.
Yeah, no, it's FF angle, I see.
So, you don't take this wave if you want to fight the Drake, is my point. If you don't want to fight the Drake, which I think is fine, but it's not going to happen because the solo queue and people were going to fight the Drake anyways.
Yeah, no, that was my initial plan to not fight the Drake. But,
yeah, then it makes sense, right? But, like, for all I care as well, is like... Yeah, I think it's a bit awkward. There's a few things, right? I think Ezreal theoretically should probably play on the side lane here. Because I think his champion just works better with it, in a sense. And his champion can actually 1v1 people. And I also think Mundo should be playing on that side lane, but that's like a few other things, and that's not something we can control in solo queue, right?
Yes.
Right. And now, here's the awkward part of the game. Now, enemy is not pushing the side lane, and we can't just clear on the tower, so what do we do?
We wait for them to show or not show, and then we just flip it, but I should not do that, and I will get punished for it.
So our plan is to flip it? I respect it. No, what the plan should be, theoretically, is that we should push this wave, and then we should go mid, and then we should go bot again.
Yes. I think it's something I tried to do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I did that, but that's, yeah.
And once again, this probably won't happen in solo queue. Right, agreed. Because people don't understand how to do this. But this is just another reason why your champion is not good in solo queue. Because your champion cannot side lane.
I mean, I think technically I should have opened mid and be ready to move into bot if they do decide to push it.
No, I think this was fine to catch.
Yeah,
but here you should move mid. Yes, here of course you should move mid here. Because here you're just flipping it. And you see the Tristana, and that's great. Right? Like, but she has no reason to show on.
To be there, yeah, exactly.
And it's like another thing is that we're kind of lucky how she shows on map as well, I think. Because for all I care, she could just show off with a couple of people in mid lane, and they could just look to brute force somewhere, you know? Maybe on the Shake or maybe on this Mundo, right? Like the Tristana could just be top lane here.
Yes.
We can't push this before she shoves. Or shows, rather. So, if we're just sitting here waiting, she can make a play.
Yeah, I agree.
And if we try to do something, she can make a play on us. So we have no win. Why are we so scared to auto-attack?
Because I want to get out before I die, and then play after.
Oh yeah, but he's not one-tapping us. See the damage he's dealing?
I mean, he only got 2 auto-attacks off now.
Yeah, of course, but he got an auto, like 2 autos and a Q. Like, my point is just like, you're not dead yet. Like, at least throw an auto, you don't have to be this scared.
True. I mean, yeah, no, I see.
Because I quickly skimmed through the game before. I usually don't watch the games beforehand, right? But I quickly skimmed through, and like I saw some fights, and every fight it just seemed like you're playing max range, just throwing Qs. And it's not easy for your champion to play against enemy comp. That's not what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, but I should try to be like walk in more, try to maximize more.
Right, because if we're just throwing max range Qs, one thing is that they're probably not hitting a lot of the time. Right?
Yeah, not hitting.
And like another thing is our passive actually deals fucking damage, right?
Yeah, no, that does a lot of damage.
Yeah, and another thing is that we're max range, then we're only gonna be hitting the first target. We don't have options to choose who we want to hit.
Yes.
Except for our ult. So all of these things like allow us to do more. And it's like, if we are scared to hit, it probably means someone else is gonna be scared to hit, and if everyone is scared to hit, no one's gonna be hitting.
This one I misplay.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah, no, I get the point. Like, if I'm not scared to hit, well, enemy will be less. Can just walk up and like. But that's for sure. Like, I need to put more pressure.
Like here's a prime example, I think. I don't know why we're clicking back, you know? Are we scared here of them?
The first one or the one that I do here?
No, here. Why did we click back here?
That's a good question. I mean, I think in my back of the mind I was like, okay, I need to start running back bot, but I should never walk back.
No, I mean, yeah, but like if we need to run back bot lane, we shouldn't have been
Yeah,
here in
yeah,
the first place.
yeah,
And
I
the
agree.
proof is S-Shard should probably use catch this way.
Yeah, no, I agree. I fully agree. Maybe I was scared of Kog'Maw, but it doesn't make sense. Like, there's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the worst case, Kog'Maw pops out here, and honestly, if the Kog'Maw comes out here and kills you when you're standing over here, for all I care, you B1 Kog'Maw next official game, okay?
Okay, yeah.
You know, like
Don't leak, man. Don't leak.
it's like yeah, because for example, I don't think the W is like a bad idea, but we're throwing it on max range, right? So it's like it accomplishes nothing, right? He doesn't even dash it, right? We just throw him into the wall.
Yeah.
Because we're so scared to do anything. We don't have to play like it's good to space them. It's good to play on range, but you know we also.
But I'm ranging too much.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have to stand on our max range. You just have to stand at their max range, right? Or outside their max range. The max range of Graves is not this, right? He's not randomly gonna kill us unless he has flash and E and like ult, you know?
Yes.
If we get flashed on here, once again, B1 Graves, like, you know? But it's like, that's my point, right? Because here, he for sure doesn't kill us, right? And if the Kongma is here, he for sure doesn't kill us. And if Gwen pops up here, well, you're dead anyways, GG.
But
like,
Gwen is top.
Yeah, obviously you see the Gwen, but you get my point, right? Like,
yeah.
It's like, so we have nothing to be scared of, right? And the thing is with enemy team comp is that the only person that actually has any range on enemy team comp, like, I guess the Kog'Maw has some range, right? But it's like...
Perma range.
Right, he has some range, right, in that sense, but you have a bit more range than him, and Tristana has, like, the same range as you, right, with her W. But you can counter the Tristana with your W, right, agreed? So the only thing you need to do is base the Kog'Maw. And the Kog'Maw, you can just stand on the opposite side then. And then you can hit the entirety of the enemy team, right? But every time we see, you're scared, right? Did you want to watch through more of this game, or no?
I mean, I think at this point, like, there's already, like, so much that I learned from it.
Sure. No, because the only thing I will show them is like probably a potential fight, like because I assume the same thing happens, right? Like
yeah, it had a lot of them. I mean, at this game we would have actually won if I don't fucking griff it shortly before the end. But
right, we just randomly got Nash, or what happened?
We got Nash in a fight where we counter-aced them. Then we get Elder, but then after Shaco and I die, because that's where I griff. Otherwise we would have won the game.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this guy we actually have to space a bit, so this I understand, right, in that sense, but...
It was bad flash, I should flash River, but I didn't realize in time.
Yeah, maybe if you're really patient, I think what you used to do is you try to walk out and hope she gets out of range and then uses her W and then you flash her W.
Yeah.
I think that's the play, but yeah. Either way, it's like the general same idea, right? Alright, yes. Which game do you have Prey on looking at next?
Let me quickly think about it. I think the Corki one. I mean, I griffed it a bit more, but that game I was more clueless on what to do.
Okay.
Like this game I was legitimately clueless.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the last game we played, we couldn't do much, right? I agreed. Like, the first 20 minutes were literally...
Yeah, but I just wanted to know if what I could maybe do, right? Maybe I missed some stuff in there or so. When I did, obviously, right?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's things we can min-max, right? But this is a rough matchup, I think.
Yes.
Alright, so what's the plan for this one?
I mean, it's very similar to Tristana now. And then, wait, can you go back to the various loading screen? I mean, I want to try to, like, neutralize the bot matchup so that Draven doesn't get ahead.
Yep.
And try to make sure that the Kha'Zix can farm and the Jax can play if possible, but mostly play into bot and into Kha'Zix. Because like the Draven is the biggest issue, the rest we can mostly deal with.
Okay. I mean, I
think will always be able to. You go.
I mean, your champion can always deal with the Draven, I think. If you play it.
Me, I can also deal with the Fiora always because she will never get to tower.
Yeah, I mean, it can be true. It's just more difficult, right? I think to an extent.
Yeah, here I try to limit test and griff it a bit.
Okay, wait, let's see it again. Because I skipped over it for some reason. For fun. Alright, but what is the plan like for the actual lane? Like, how do we plan on winning this lane?
I was just trying to like punish Windows, and I think it's the same as the Tristana, where I tried to like neutralize it to some degree, and then I play to like freeze in front of my tower, and then eventually push out on timers that are important because this matchup I can actually like nuke.
Yeah.
I can technically also attack his mana pool for like baiting traits but yeah, I wanted to like look for like
can we
damage
both
on him.
agree you should just never queue like this, even if it hits, it accomplishes something?
Yes, I agree.
It gives you mana flow, but it's like the mana flow. I promise you, this rune is fake. Like people like play for the mana flow. It does something, but it's like you will get the mana flow eventually.
Yes, no, I agree. I think the Q is fine if I play for the freeze and then a small HP leap, but I should do it from further away.
Oh, but
because
can you play for the freeze?
I think I can.
Okay, if you think you can, then sure. I think it's more valid if you have another jungler that is not Kha'Zix, because Kha'Zix is not gonna early gank this guy.
But this Q was bad, I agree.
Yeah, this Q was also terrible. Like it's a similar thing to like the first game, right? It's like
it's the exact same thing.
Yeah, like he has fleet rate again. I mean, another thing is that we seem very scared to auto attack this guy in lane, right? Because it's like right here, like okay, we go for the Q, and it is what it is, right? But it's like, and then we miss a minion, and that's a bit awkward, obviously. But here, like, here's good to step up, right? But it's like we actually like have to get the push with the step up as well, right? Like Q the wave, etc. These kind of things, right?
I mean, I don't want to get the push now.
I mean, if you don't want the push, then sure. It's like I can't remember what enemy jungler was now, but let me just check.
Diana. Right?
Diana.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we're getting ganked. If you're scared of it, then sure. But it's like my point is just that like I don't think we should be that scared of the push, because like I mean compared to Tristana 1 can actually maybe outplay us with her W placement. This guy cannot. Right. Like we can just space this guy, and if he W's forward, like we will just take a good trade, I think.
Okay.
And worst case, I think we can just nuke the wave. I'm not sure. You know the champion a bit better than I do, so maybe you can't nuke the wave. Like and get
I can't at this level. I can't at this point. Like.
Okay.
I mean, I can take one bad trade from full life. I can survive like one all in. I just have to trade flashes.
Because, but even if you don't want to like play for the push, then like at least like okay, here you get an auto attack, and it's like sure, like we can argue the Q is bad or whatever, but it's like if you don't plan on taking a push, sure, Q him for all I care, but at least auto attack this guy, you know?
Yes, I agree.
We can do both. We're not limited to one.
Yeah, I mean, probably thought about the auto is maybe too slow, right?
Yeah, I mean maybe, but it's like, and for all I care, when we have like, I prefer us queuing the minions and then using our passive auto, right? Because that's guaranteed, and the passive auto does some stuff. It's not that much damage in early game, but yeah.
No, I fully agree. If I decide to like do an auto attack, right, stay in range for auto attack. If I decide to not auto at all, then I think not. But yeah, I agree. In this situation, I should have.
Yeah. And now we really have to give the push, and I mean we respect it at least.
No. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of the same mistake.
I wouldn't mind trading more with him here.
Then I just wanted to reset because I didn't have cooldowns, and he has his E fully stacked, so I will take a lot more damage on the more further auto attacks.
Yeah, I mean I get it, but I think he dies before us here.
You think so?
Yeah, I believe so at least.
When did he Q?
He doesn't have Q.
He doesn't Q. Yeah, maybe.
And it's like the worst case that happens, we're both on HP and we have an extra pot over him.
Yes. I mean, I think if he flashes my Q, he can win it.
Yeah, I mean, potentially. But then we get his flash at least, and then we can just flash out now.
I think I die if I miss the Q.
We can't miss minions like this. This is just terrible. I don't know.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And I kind of want to note here as well, just as I add on to last game, like it takes us like 2 seconds to look up lane, right?
No, here I should for sure use hotkey.
Yeah. And it's hard to get used to, but yeah.
I mean, I have it bound. I use it every now and then, but there's sometimes decide for different stuff.
Yeah.
And I have to make sure that the decisions when I do what is correct. Like for now, I think I should just practice using F keys only.
Yeah.
FF.
Yeah, I mean that's a bit sad, but it is what it is. I wouldn't move here. I don't think you get anything.
Yeah.
You just lose a lot of stuff. I mean, we're missing a lot of minions, but I mean, that's not much we can do about.
Just practice more.
What is our like plan for the first reset usually? Because one thing I usually speak about on Mage is like, especially like Ziggs, that where this champion doesn't have a lot of pressure in lane. Agreed? Like, because you're not
Yes.
gonna kill this guy ever, probably, unless he does what he did earlier on. But like, maybe then you can. And you're not gonna like realistically like starve him out in lane by like attacking his mana pool super hard or anything, right? Agreed?
I think I can stuff Cockyacht because
I think if he misplays, yes. But I don't
Yes.
think you can actually.
no, usually I just take a reset when they reset, and then or like take a reset later, like have it frozen, slow push it out with and then get a later based on them, and then use TP a bit later and have an item advantage, and then snowball from there.
Okay, because like let's say for example this game, right? What is her best reset early game?
Vamp Scepter in this matchup.
Vamp Scepter. So she wants to reset on what? 900 gold?
Yes.
Right? So we don't want to reset on this timer.
Mhm.
Agreed? If we get the
So we
same
force a
reset,
reset.
as on
Yeah, fast.
Right, so we try to either get one on like 1200 when we have Lost Chapter, because then she will have like Vamp Scepter boots, I guess. But it's still worse for us, I think, agreed?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
for sure.
So-
well, actually, no. I think Lost Chapter is so broken on 6 that I think it doesn't matter what they have.
Okay, if you think so, then sure. But it's like, then we try to force one on 1200 gold, right? Or we
Yes.
try to force one earlier than 900.
And I think we force one on 400. Or like
400
I think best,
is fine, right?
I think 550 is best because it's Death plus refill.
I think all of these are fine, because I think 750 is fine as well. Then we get Darksteel Lamp Tome, for example, right? These kind of things, right?
I mean, I don't think you should go Dark Seal ever
Why not?
on 6. At least not before Lost Chapter.
I think it's a good item just in general.
Yeah, no, it's a good item. You can do it after Lost Chapter, but I don't think you should do it before Lost Chapter.
Okay. No, but like the general idea is, right, that we have to think about, especially in these kind of matchups, when we take a reset, right?
Yes.
Because it's like, especially now, for example, right? It's like if we both take a reset here and we're like ish the same gold, you agree the basis is better for us, right?
Yes.
Because he's gonna get like a longsword and like maybe refill, and you're gonna get Amp Tome and refill, and then you actually have some you can actually start poking him out with this amount of gold, right? And then you can control
Yes.
the next reset, right? And then you can actually get the reset on the Lost Chapter, right? For example, these are the things
Yeah, the
you have to
only-
think about.
The reason I stopped him here is because I didn't want him to have tempo, and he's kind of already in a chunked out position.
Sure, and that's fine, right? But then we have to play to get the next good reset, right? What is he going first, do you think?
I mean, I know what he did, but I think he should go longsword and then into tier maybe.
So he needs tier in early game, so that's 400 gold. What else does he need?
And then he just goes AD stacking.
So
Maybe he can.
I mean, usually he wants Triforce, right? So he's gonna go what, 1 or 2 longswords?
Yeah, longsword, 2 longsword Sheen.
Yeah, I think Sheen is quite awkward. Like I wouldn't.
I mean,
go
I
it.
agree. But I think you should go two swords, maybe boots and a dagger like
Right.
this. Like
So what resets are good for him then? Do you think a tier reset is good for him?
no,
No. So if we get an Amp Tome and he gets a tier, are we happy?
yes,
Okay. So that's like one way, because then we start getting more push than him. Agreed.
yes,
And with this push, we can actually win the lane. So that's one reset that is good for us, right? 400 gold is good for us. Then it's like, what is the next one? We spoke about like 550. Do we think this is good for us? We both get refill?
yeah, I think it's good for us.
I don't think it is.
Okay.
Because, okay,
Why?
like, it's worse than this.
Yes,
It's not
worse
a
than
bad
this.
reset, right? Inherently, right? But since we have more damage, right? And he has more mana
Yeah,
now,
no,
he actually
that's
wants more HP,
no, I agree with that.
right? So, my point is just that we have to think about these. 750 is probably his best. Agreed? Because then he
Yeah, I
gets
mean,
tier
it's
longsword.
my worst. It's my worst.
Right. He gets tier longsword, right? So it's like, he wants to reset on 750, 800, something like this, right? And if it goes past this, right, like 400, 550, like, then we have to make sure that we go up higher than that, right?
Yeah, we need to
1100
go
again, he's
shit.
winning. Right.
Yeah, he's 120. It's like really good.
Right, so it's like, and then it's like, potentially like 950, we can be fine. Something like that. Because then we have 2 amp tones.
No, you don't want 2 M-Toms because
Why not?
Lost Chapter.
Wait,
Because
is
it's
Lost
not a
Chapter only 1? Okay, maybe I'm stupid.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm
Yeah,
stupid.
no, and 950 is complete FF angle.
No, then it's
base.
900, right? But then you go Sapphire Crystal, like, instead.
Yes.
And you go, like, but this is just a general idea. If we can think about what our resets are, and we can play for them, then we can win these kind of lanes, right?
Yes.
And
that's something I don't do at all.
And the Tristana one is harder because she controls the push basically in an entire lane. But this one, it's a bit more possible, right? Because we actually have push over them, right? And we can see it now, especially when he took a bad trade, right? We took a bad trade first, and then he took an even worse one. But now it's like possible for us to play with the push. So we have to think about what goal do we want to reset on.
Yes, I should. I didn't never really think about it, except for like from my perspective. I don't think about the enemy perspective.
And it's important to think about in terms of different matchups, right? And a lot of mage versus mage matchups, everyone's gonna want Lost Chapter, so that's a different thing. But if you're playing Ziggs and you don't think you want Lost Chapter, or like Darkseal, for example, but enemy wants Darkseal, like these are the kind of things that can impact you, you know?
Yeah, then I wanna force like really early base, or I just try to extend lane.
Yeah, and a lot of champions as well versus your champion wants boots. So that's another thing, right? All of these things can impact your, like, what base is better than enemy base. And it's important to think about, especially in these kind of matchups where you don't build the same thing. And here is, I mean, it's a bit ahead in like, what's it called, minions. So we're gonna be a bit behind in gold now. We click on him. We click on him a bit late. He goes Ruby Crystal for some reason, but that's fine. So now I assume we're just waiting for a Lost Chapter at least.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think this is like perfect. It's kind of similar to the last game, but it's not like that bad.
It's the same issue as before. So, if I could have managed a lot of stuff earlier better, I would never arrive in this spot.
So the reason why I do not like this in general, right? It's not because like if we can get a Lost Chapter and land every CS here, it's not that bad. Agreed? Like then we're fine because then we just get a TP recall, etc. But he should not play like he's doing right here.
He should just nuke the wave, or he should throw me off.
Yeah, he should. I mean, for all I care, he just W's into the wave now and he trades with you. Like, what can you do?
Yes, nothing.
The only thing you can do then is reset, and then you get a bad reset.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the other part thing is, if he decides to nuke the wave and move somewhere, well, there's something happening, and I cannot match because I have no mana.
Yeah, I mean that's another play. He can do it potentially, right? But it's like, this is just the general idea. When ETP is back here, like even though he has a slow pushing wave, I'm zoning you off this wave, right?
Yes, no,
it's like,
should, for sure.
Because he's standing far back for zero reason, and now he starts out-attacking minions for zero reason, right? And it's like, we fin the wave as well, and like, yeah, I'm not sure if we're finning the wave actually, or if we're like trying to set up minions. If we're setting up minions, it's fine. If we're trying to fin the wave, I don't know, we're helping him out. Yeah.
No, I was setting up minions.
Then it's fine. But it's like, this is the reason why I don't like it, right? Because he can zone us off some minions, and he can force us potentially to take a bad reset, right?
Yes, now I have the issue with the mana because I grifted.
And now you're fine, because now you can take a reset whenever and you get the base you want. So it's like not that terrible anymore. But it's still a bit awkward, right? Because here, like, our CS was kind of even again, and now we're 10 CS behind, right? So.
Yeah, no, it was like really shit. Like, this game I grifted the early game quite heavily.
Yeah. And we had positions to play, for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree, fully.
And the general idea here is that now that he's gotten his lead, for all I care, like, sure, we have a TP advantage, so we can, like, theoretically trade more resources than him, but if he has the push, like, and he's trading a lot with you and threatening off minions, then he can just take a reset here again, 10 CS up, for example, maybe even more, which I think he should be able. Like, and he should just have an even better reset again.
No, I agree.
And that's why it's bad.
No, I agree, fully. Like, if I do it better earlier, it's, like, really good for us.
Yeah.
This Kha'Zix is just a clown.
But this is the general idea on how you gain advantage, especially with a mana champion and push champion like Ziggs. Orianna, same thing. Syndra, similar thing, right? All of these champions. Like, Ori, a different thing, right? Because she's more of a skirmisher. But it's like, especially these push champions, right?
Yes.
Because you can't gain advantages for other ways. Unless enemy decides to misplay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, technically, if then there is 6 bomb point blank, then, well, I've really quite a lot of damage, but yeah.
Alright, what is the plan now?
The plan now? I mean, technically here, I think because botlane is already FF angle, I play into top control. I try to neutralize the Cork, but like in this specific station, I just want to match the Cork that he cannot go to the grubbies, right? And then after, I just try to like get push from topside, get vision into topside, make sure that the Jax can do his thing.
Yeah. So one thing is like, And similar like thing to this game, and I mean this game it's a bit awkward, right? Because we didn't have much. One thing I asked you, right, is like, okay, how do we want to play this game? You said, okay, shut down the Draven. Our champion can deal with Draven, right?
Yes.
If we play it really good, unless he's Omega fed, right? Because they don't have an engage either, except for, I mean, I guess they have Diana. So, but it's like, if Jax gets fed, they cannot deal with Jax with their comp.
Yes.
They have 3 auto attackers and a Diana and a Milio.
Yes.
0 CC.
Yes, yes.
So if this Jax gets ahead, one thing is that this top lane matchup is one of the snowballiest matchups in the game. If you get a slight lead in this lane, you will just win on the side you're playing.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's like one thing. Like, because the general thing is like they're both your stat check champions, right? And there's some skill expression to it, right? Like, of course. But in general, like, whoever gets ahead will just fist the other. And on top of that, whoever gets ahead will just stomp on side lane the entire game because they can threat to dive the other person.
Yes. Yeah, this is just fucking grief. I should never use W like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing as last game, right? We use our W aggressively, and then, well, we can't contest the wave anymore.
Yeah, I figured after this, I figured it out. I think after this point, I'm not gonna use my W aggressively anymore.
Right. And it's like, even if he walks through RE, like, he has more HP than us right now, right? Because he's probably playing Absorb. Oh, actually, do you play Absorb Life on Corki? Or do you play...
I personally do.
Okay. Because if you go tier, I think it makes the most sense, personally, but...
I mean, there are a lot of people that are not.
Yeah. But it's like, that's like my thought process at least, so let's just say he's playing like optimally. I mean, we can even see what he's playing. He's playing Presence of Mind, to be fair. So it's like, potentially then he has less HP, right? But it's like, if he's playing Absorb Life, he has more HP than us, always. Because this rune is not balanced. So we have to think about that, and this is a bit awkward. Once again, like, if you want to do stuff, like here...
Ping.
Yeah, exactly, just ping, like, because the Kha'Zix right now is like, oh, I'm not catching this guy, right? So, whatever. That's a bit awkward.
Yes. The best thing I can do is try to like push this.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, like, since Diana is dead as well.
Yes.
So take this plate. I'm not sure I would say more.
I mean, I need to clear this wave.
I'm not sure you do. Because, like,
I mean, maybe not.
Because, like, if it's not a cannon wave, sure. But it's like, I don't think you have to clear the wave. If you want to, like, you can. But now you're a bit off tempo, right? That's my only thing.
I see.
You could be more ahead in tempo, right? And tempo is important.
Yeah, no, I think the reason why I did it because I expected Raven to walk bot, right?
Yeah.
Or like show bot, and then Corki is bot, so I will have tempo anyways because he will reset quite late.
Right. So one thing, and I'm sure you know this, but one thing that's super important with mid lane matchups is that whoever is first in lane will just win. Because if you're first in lane, you can just zone him off the wave.
Yeah,
just like one mage cannot walk into the other.
It's similar on bot lane and top as well.
Yeah,
to some degree, but not as bad.
It can be similar, right? But if two melee champions walk into each other, they will start hitting each other. If a range champion walks into the other range champion's range, then they will get hit by a spell and nothing else will happen, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the difference in like mid lane, especially, right? Because like, or in mage versus mage matchups, right? Especially, but also like when you're playing Ziggs and he's playing Corki, right? Because if he wants to walk into your range, you will just W him and then you will EQ him, and then will just take a bunch of damage for no reason. Right, so if you're first on the wave and if you have tempo ahead of him, you can just control the lane. And you keep that up. And the only time where you can't keep that up is if you decide to leave lane, right?
If I decide to leave lane, or they send reinforcements.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said I wasn't gonna do it again, but I did again. Fuck me.
So now we're a bit stuck in lane. We take a reset here. Or did we? No.
I stay one wave.
No, it makes sense to stay the lane here. Like, if we really want to, here we ult the wave, I think.
Yeah, I think I did actually.
We did, yeah, true. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'm not sure we would if you... I mean... So here's the thing. I don't hate ulting the wave, because I think it's like a get out of jail free card. But if we're gonna be TPing here anyways, I don't think we do it.
Okay.
Like, because now we're kind of like using our ult to get like tempo back, and we're using our TP to get tempo back, right? And it doesn't actually do, like, if you just use TP, it doesn't, like, you get like 2 seconds or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, So if we plan on contesting the grubs here, it makes sense to TP, but then I think we save ult. And if we don't plan, then we just walk the lane.
Yeah, no, that makes for sure. Yeah, it felt a bit awkward as well.
How come you decide to go Pan Boots with this build?
Because Draven is the one that I need to deal with, and at this point I decided like that because the game went shit quite fast. I need to deal damage and like pure damage. That's why I swapped around the build.
Okay. No, I don't hate Pen Boots. It's just it feels awkward with this build, right?
I mean, I think it's still fine with the Blackfire touch.
I mean, it works, but I think it's suboptimal. I would rather have Ludens. Like this is your purpose in the game.
Maybe. I mean, I tried Ludens, but every time I played it, it felt like really shit and did not no real damage.
Okay.
Compared to this item in practice.
So it's a similar thing to like the last game, right? Where it's like we can't really side lane, right? So we kind of have to play mid lane here. I mean, here, like what I don't mind here is that like we're kind of stepping up after a while, but we're not doing it straight up. Like, I get that we want to space this guy, and that makes sense, and this is fine. And here, I mean, here we have to stop walking forward. You know, now we're just greeting, but I guess he has a huge shutdown or something, so everyone just wants to walk forward.
Yes.
But it's like, in general, we don't have to be that scared. It's like, he's just slightly out of our range. We have to maybe account for his W, right? But spacing like this is like very important on your champion, right? To make sure you get max damage output.
Yes.
And if Corki decides to shove waves into us like this, we're always happy, right? Agreed. Because then we actually get to play side lane and we get to catch waves.
Exactly. This one is a bit of a disaster. Yeah, it's a bit of a disaster.
I mean, we killed him at least, no? Or maybe not. He's just better, unlucky. Oh no. I mean, it's a bit sad.
Yes. yeah, no. Don't look at my mechanics.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's the second time, and like it's just something to point out, that you throw your W and you throw your ult in the same pixel, right?
Yeah.
Because here it's like you throw your W, right, and then you blow him up, and then like, I mean, it's not the same pixel, right, but in that sense, but it's like you throw your ult where you're standing and not where he's gonna end up.
Yeah, no, it's just bad. Like the idea here was, I knew he was fly left, and then I expected him to walk right.
Yeah.
Away from the tower, because I thought the tower had more HP, right? And then I wanted to cut off his option there, but I didn't realize he had the option of killing the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the tower is there, it doesn't matter if he walks left and doesn't take the big thick one.
Yeah, why are we all
that was my. Did I tap?
I don't know.
I mean, I think I started screen sharing here for Hannah also.
I see. No, I was just curious.
No,
no, I'm kidding.
No, I don't think I do that on Ziggs anymore.
No, I don't think anyone builds this on 6.
I mean, true.
I mean, I'm not saying the build doesn't, like, I think the build makes some sort of sense, but I'm just saying, you know, like, I don't think people build this generally, so.
Yeah.
I would walk back bot lane here, I think. It's fine that we went and got the blue, I think, but the wave is quite far away. It's like, now we miss a wave because we're like in mid lane, right?
Yeah.
And if you think something's really gonna happen, then sure, stay. But it's hard for something to happen with these two comps as well.
And for me, it was that I kind of wanted Jackson to bot, but the other one is that I want to be able to like reinforce this and get the mid tower with the W, because it was in range to kill. You
might want Jackson to bot lane, but this Jax is kind of set on staying topside, right? And I'm not sure how the game is looking exactly, because I don't know about Tab, right? But this guy seems pretty fed in the game, so if he wants to go top lane, like he probably, you know, like you just do whatever the fuck he wants, you know?
He's about as fed as the Draven. Draven is 9-2.
Okay. No, and it's like, at some point, like, you know, you just go bot lane. And it's like, yeah, he should be bot lane, I agree, and then he can take towers, like, etc. But it's like, you know, your job is to catch waves where he isn't.
Yes, no, I agree. I mean, my idea was to just pretty much match the Corki, and if none of us farm, then it's also fine.
Yeah. How is the Sona so much more willing to step up than you are?
Because I just died to Draven. Because she's a fucking dirty and that Zona was a fucking sprinter, by the way.
I mean, yeah, potentially. And like, sure, here she's like stepping up a bit too far. Like here she gets out-tacked. But you can for sure stand here or here, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. I can stand there. I use E to peel.
My point is just that like there should not be an auto-attack range distance between you and the Zona. Agreed?
At the optimal position, yes.
Because it's like, once again, our W here, a bit awkward, right? Because we're so far away from him.
Yeah, I guess.
Doesn't mean he doesn't end up dying, and that's good, of course, that he ends up dying, but yeah, it's not great. And like, once again, like, okay, here, like...
I die for the cancelling the Hawk TP. Or like I step up quite far.
No, you don't need to keep stepping up, though. This cancellation was good, and then now you know...
Yeah,
you were like on a stream, man. You were like, I've been standing in Narnia the entire game. I'm about to stand in this guy's face. No, like in between or anything. Like it's one of the or the other, you know. Like
just walking.
No, but it's like we can for sure keep our space, right? It's my like, but it's like,
yeah. Here I need to keep my space.
Without W, we have to keep our space, right? Like for sure. Like this is our defensive tool still. So here it makes sense if you want to play it back, but it's like we could for sure like not have to use flash, for example, right?
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And then when I have flash, I can walk more forward because I can do stuff, right?
Yeah.
Then I'm not have to be scared, and then I trade flashes. This one was game winning. They steal Nash and they kill everyone.
Yeah, I mean that's great.
I'm getting carried to the game. I mean that's also why I choose it, right? Because then I probably made a lot of mistakes.
Yes, and I mean, let's look at this again, because one thing like we're noticing is that you're playing very safe. Ziggs is a champion that pads damage, agreed? Like this champion dishes out damage for fun, that is fake, right?
Yes,
Aqsept does the same thing. And our damage numbers
this kind of build
are not that high, right? Like there's no way Aleeson should be dealing like more than us in a 40-minute game.
Especially not with a double bone build.
Right. And it's like so we can get a lot of damage out, right? But it's like if we throw one bomb at max range every single time we have it, and that's our damage, then we're not gonna be dealing a lot.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Right. So it's like spacing more forwards is like something you really have to work on this champion, like in mid-late game, because early game there's like some things you can do, but it's like you're not gonna have like the most agency in the early game, right? As we said. But like where your champion is really good, right, in solo queue is carrying mid to late game team fights, right? And you can for sure carry these fights if you play the champion really good, because I've seen people do it, and I've seen people climb to Grandmaster playing the champion mid lane.
I mean, I think if you play really good, he can be an early lane bully into like not hard bully matchups, right?
No,
like, not Tristana,
of course he can bully lanes, right? Like he's still a poke mage, right? So you can do a lot with the champion in that sense, right? But we have to be... we have to know our limits in a sense, right? Both our limits in terms of range and like how much damage we deal, etc. And it feels like we're not playing to those limits whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I agree. And this was just brain fart. Like there's not much more to say.
Yeah.
Like not respecting the respawn timers that they have.
Yes.
And then again, I'm getting carried.
Yeah, we take it. Do we end the game here? Yeah.
Yes.
Jeez.
I did nothing the game. That's also why I took it, right? Because I felt like I played really shit and I felt clueless. And I mean, I was clueless as it turns out.
Yes. Do you want to watch through the last one or no?
I mean, we can if you have time.
I mean, I have time. As I said, I count for the sessions taking like 90 minutes-ish. So we can look through this.
I mean, I misplayed my lane again. I'm testing limits. I'm griffing it as well. So I mean, it's probably gonna be a lot of the same stuff, right?
Okay, so already I can probably guess you don't have the runes I would choose for this game. It's this game. So I wouldn't go these. I think Scorch is good.
I was thinking bomb plating overgrowth.
You can. I would probably just go absorb life.
Okay.
It's like my thought process. You can go because it's like bone plating can do something, but she can easily proc it as well.
I mean, it would be more going for the overgrowth. I said later on in the game, I'm not one shot.
Sure, like that makes some sort of sense. Like in that sense, like, but then I would just prefer you going tier, to be honest, personally. I think that makes more sense.
You mean Seraph?
Yeah.
In this game, when they have Lilia Jax? I
mean, yeah, why not?
I mean, I think then the burn is just better, but yeah, I'm a big fan of the burn item.
Yeah, I mean, I can see you're right. I mean, I think theoretically, if you play it good, you don't need like either, especially when you have Janna.
Yes.
But my point is just that like I want you to have some sort of sustain because this guy will bully you. This guy will
he did.
100% try to kill you like permanently.
He
Right?
does. Like I go like 0-5 this game,
Yeah.
and then I come back.
Because this lane, I can imagine, it's not that easy, but it is like we have ways to play.
Yeah. I agree.
So what is your goal for this matchup?
I mean, the way I played it in technically.
Both.
I mean, the way I played it, I wanted to figure out if I can like bully him, and like figure out the limits of the matchup. And the other way, technically, I would want to like just make sure the wave slightly pushes into me, and then from that point on, after the wave slightly pushes into me, I wanna like play for the first freeze.
Right. No, because like the way I see it, right? And why do you go Scorch in this lane? Can I just ask? Because I understand why it makes sense, but yeah.
I mean, because I don't think Gathering Storm matters in this game, and with Scorch I can like defend myself and take. If I play it really well, I can maybe even kill. I don't think the game goes long enough for Gathering Storm to matter.
Right, because like I mean, Crack has even said it like probably a billion times, right? Like every matchup has a main resource, right? Agreed.
Yes.
And what is the main resources in this matchup?
HP and secondary mana.
Yeah, right. So if HP is the main resource, we need a lot of it. Scorch is a way to reduce his HP. Absorb Life is a way to increase yours. This is why I want you to have Absorb Life in this matchup.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And this kind of trade is never good. This like LeBlanc will always look for this, and even if we hit the Q, let's say, and we take an even trade, it's always good for him. He wants us to be low HP because that's when he has kill threat, because he has more burst than us.
Yeah, I just thought I would win a bit my passive up and the minion wave and the thing.
Well, it's not a bad plan in that sense, but I would space differently. Similar thing to before. We're higher range champion. We don't want to be spacing here.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. And it's like if we limit test it a bit, I mean that's fine. But even if like we win this, even if this is like, I mean, let's say like this is like his or whatever, like.
Then we swap HP boss.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to say, right? I'm just speaking a bit stupid. Like I think still this is winning for him.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Because this is how LeBlanc wants to play.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, true.
Every time you get hit, then you can't regen it, and like he's just happy, right?
Yeah, no, I should just play low trading style. No, I agree. Like, then my approach is fundamentally wrong for this game.
Yeah, we can trade a bit, like in that sense, but we can't be hit by his W. That's illegal. Right? If he doesn't hit W and he's like trading auto attacks on us, like level 1, like that's fine, right? That we can take, like to an extent. It's still good for him, I think. Like I would say that he wants to proc electrocute, right? But if we get hit by the W, it's fucking legendary for him. Like then he's
no. I agree. Then he has the electrocute triggered as well.
And I get why we wait with the Q, because we don't want to Q before he W's, right? That's the entire idea. Yes. But he wants to proc electrocute before he W's back, so I would just throw the Q.
Yes, okay.
Like
yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
No, the good or the main advantage we have in this kind of lane is that we can get the push if we want to, right? Like if we want to. If you still don't want it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like in general, right, we want to take a lot of resets because he also doesn't have TP, right? So the way we win is just by taking more resets than him, and once again, better resets than him, agreed?
Yeah.
He wants Dark Seal, agreed, so he's gonna reset on 350, preferably. After taking some good trades.
Yeah, no, he should get Dark Seal. Or maybe he goes 400 just with the Tom, right? But there are a lot of good resets for him.
Yes.
And I just wanna break them. I wanna get refill ASAP as well.
Right, we need refill in this lane. That's like step number 1. See, this trade I don't like hate because it's like if we queue faster, this trade is like fine, right? But it's once again, he just wants to proc electrocute, right? So
yes.
Once he procs it, he's gonna go back.
But he's running Taste of Blood and not the sudden impact, which he should.
So how come we decided to go E here and not 2 points in Q? Because I've seen in some games you go 2 points in Q and some games you go E. I'm just curious.
Here was just that I have like an additional tool to like defend myself and like just throw it on him and then. force him like back, but this
Yeah.
was like bad usage of it. Like the idea
Right.
was just have one more tool to like deal with his W.
Yeah. So in a sense, it makes sense, I guess. But there's a few problems. Once again, we're spacing this way. We have to be standing on the other side.
Yeah.
Right? Because the best trade we took so far, agreed, was this trade. Like, even though we missed the Q.
Yeah.
And
No, I agree.
large part of it is like, I mean, if we stand in the minions, right? It's like, and especially like if we are able to wait for these minions, maybe we set up like this minion better or something like that, right?
Yeah. No, I
Like,
shouldn't have
he can
used
never
W
hit
the
E.
way before and so on. Yeah. No, I agree.
Because then he can never hit E. Like, and if he can't hit E, then we're chilling, right? Like, so
Yes.
what we don't want to do is we don't want to be standing in his W range, because then he's gonna W on top of us and E on top of us, and then it's, you know, it's too flippy, like GG go next.
Yeah.
So we want to be standing in this wave, right? Just stand like in front of this cannon or something like that and just play with it, you know? It's like,
Yes.
now we keep doing it, and now we start backing off for some reason. And now we can't play anymore.
Yeah, no, but I don't think I can play in the wave either.
I mean, I think you can.
I think I will eventually, like, she just waits, and eventually she can just do whatever she wants.
I mean, potentially, right? But it's like like what I'm trying to say here is that, like, instead of like queuing this here, for example, is that we stand over here and then we auto-attack it, and if she W's into the wave, she's not gonna hit the E, agreed?
Yeah.
We just
it's
queue
really
her
hard.
face, and then we just win the trade, right? And if she
Yes,
starts
yes.
walking at us, we queue her face.
Yes. Then
Like-
or throw the E in front of her or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever, right? Because like, but this is for sure
And this
not right.
this is not right. Yes.
Because as soon as we start backing off from this wave and we give her ground, then we can't play anymore. This is the problem.
Yes.
When we start backing
Yes.
out from this wave, she can walk forward. When she can stand over here, or if hello, Epic Pun. If she can stand over here and we have to stand over here to space her, she can W forward and hit her E easily. And then GG.
yeah, no, I agree.
Right.
And
Whenever
just
she wants to
throws-
walk up here, he has to eat an ability.
Yes.
Because now we can't play anymore.
No, it's unplayable. And then I agree with it as well.
Yes.
I mean, I kind of wanted to not have him move bot side, but it was a bad idea that I don't even need to do anything for that.
Yeah, and I would just reset here. Well, unless you wanna like take a bad death.
Yeah.
Or like take a not a bad death, but like, you know, take a death just to get like get a
Yeah.
reset or something like that.
No,
Try to die for
I wanted to bait him into Lee.
Yeah, I mean that makes some sort of sense, but this guy's ungankable also. And here you ping the Lee's into push.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it. I thought I could just queue it and then it's fine.
Oh no. I mean, we were getting like carried by our team here, but
Yes.
oh, and once again, ping this guy to push with you. I mean, maybe he can't, but like, and now you say, help me push out. You didn't need to TP here.
No.
Maybe you would TP anyways, but it's like, you know, you could just have gone on the push out and then walk to lane if you really wanted to.
Yeah. If
That's what I mean.
yeah, beforehand. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
There you needed to TP because you never got the push out. And now you wanted to push out after you TP, then that's just, you know, like, that's not great.
Now I want to trap burn lane because she doesn't have TP.
No, that's good. So, what is the plan now? I mean, that's what we say, right? But how is the plan to do so when we come back here?
Vault bot side, hover bot side, and just perma poke him.
Are we warding bot side?
Hmm?
Why are we warding bot side?
Because that's the way I can move. I cannot walk into topside jungle right now. Because bot side Janna is covering my position.
Okay, sure.
Or like the way I can move there.
Sure. The only thing I would be careful of is that we know this guy's bot side, right? Because one, we saw the scuttle crab like a few seconds ago, and we see our scuttle crab here. So that's just
Maybe
something to
the
be aware of.
yeah.
That's
True.
just something to be aware of, right? Just ward one side, and I don't care which one, as long as you have a good reason for it, like, you know.
Yeah, maybe I think in this case my reason was shit, but yeah.
Okay, so there's a few issues with this already, right? And that I can notice, right?
I'm
Because
still
one we didn't go for the ward, right? So we can just get ganked, and we probably end up dying on this gank if I know it correctly, because LeBlanc is a good gank setup.
I will die on a lot of ganks this game.
Yeah. The other thing is that, why the fuck are we pushing these waves? We're burning our entire mana pool, right? We're half mana after one wave, because we decided we want to give her these minions. If we run out of mana, it does not matter if she's 1 HP, like, literally. Like, you know?
I can auto attack.
Yeah, you can attack, like, but it's like, you know, like, she still has a time to get out the chain and, like, play with that. And now we go for the ward, at least, so that's good. But it's like, you know, like, she's quite happy right now, because our mana pool is, like, ish the same. But I just don't see why we're pushing the wave. It makes no sense. That's the first thing to look at. We have to flash earlier, like simple as. Because right now we don't have TP, right? I mean, one issue is that we burn our entire mana pool, right?
Yes.
Like, because here like even if we're like we don't have any mana anymore, we can't lane anymore.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's like one issue. The other issue is that like we just have to flash here. If we do have more mana here, we just flash instantly and we can keep laning afterwards.
Yes.
Because here we're like.
Here I thought I could counter kill. That was my thought because I thought LeBlanc doesn't have enough damage to kill me, or like doesn't have mana to kill me.
Okay, but she has ignite, so.
Yes.
And like I think even if she just needs one more auto, Lilia could tank a tower shot, right? But it's like, yeah.
I agree.
And now we're completely fucked.
Yes.
Now we can't play anymore.
I agree.
So what is the plan now?
Hope team carries. They just slow down the game as much as possible. Just don't do anything.
Yeah, because
carry it.
Well, for us, like I think we just have to land as many last hits as possible, but I don't think we can play. Yeah, we cannot play. We fucked up too hard early. We can keep looking through this. If you want to look through something mid-late game, we can. But the early game is over.
I mean, I think there's not. We can look to late game as well, but I think I already have like a lot of points. Like,
sure.
I mean, you had like if I watch these games again, I will like throw up for it.
Yes.
Because like a lot of the stuff is just me like being so shit at the game that I'm not even sure I deserve Diamond 1.
No, I mean people are shit everywhere. Don't worry about it. But it's like. My point is just that, I mean, the biggest thing was just like we kind of misplay because we don't understand how LeBlanc pattern works, I think, at first.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I don't know LeBlanc patterns as well.
Right, so it's like, that's like one thing. And the other thing is like, I don't know, we're just burning our entire mana pool for fun, kind of. Like, you know, when we come back. Because we have a winning spot just because like we have TP and she doesn't, and she didn't manage to get out of lane. And like, like she can just, if you keep pushing into her, and you don't burn mana, that can be fine. Because then, like, she can't get a reset, and you're, like, completely fine. But if you have to keep burning mana to do so, like, at some point, you're gonna run out of mana, and then, like, she's just gonna be chilling.
Yeah.
Because then you have to take a reset. Your goal is to keep her in lane as long as possible, agreed?
Yes. Right, and if I go get fast out of lane before she does, well, there's something wrong with the way I played.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, we can't be forced to get out of lane, right? Like, we have to be... If we want to keep this guy in lane, we have to stay in lane, so...
Yes.
You know, we have to plan for that. And then it's just like, once again, like, we can decide here. We have full control over the lane. We can just decide when we want a reset. It could be, let's just say, 800 gold, we want Lost Chapter. So we just play, planning our mana pool, based off, like, that 800 gold. And when we get it, we reset, and then he's gonna have, like, I don't know, like, Alternator or something. I don't know what LeBlanc build nowadays. Right, but it's like, something like that. Yeah, so it's like, she's probably gonna go Alternator, because I don't think she goes Lost Chapter. Or does it build from that? Even?
Yeah, chapter alternators.
Yeah. No, so it's like, so that's gonna be like her idea, right? But then at least we have like somewhat of a winning spot, right? Like, because then we can start playing waves.
Yeah, and need to plan mana plus gank, right? For the time and plus the gank.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, let's be honest, we cannot die. Like, even like here, like it's just right because if we have so much space to play on, right? Like that's one thing.
I mean, I just flash the Lilia W and then I can counter kill maybe, or like a lot of stuff I can do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's a billion things, but like we have a ward here, but like we could just be playing over here if we want to, right? Yes. Obviously, we don't want to be playing on the short side, but now we don't really carry anymore, right? Because it's a LeBlanc and she's zero mana.
Like if she does a full combo, she does me like half life and then she has 0 damage after.
Yes.
Like I cannot die.
Because it's like if this Lilia walks out here and you're standing over here, like even if the LeBlanc chain hits, you fucking run away in time. I think like legit, you can use W or this wall and you're chilling. Like and it's like if you're standing in the middle and you get hit by chain right here, like you're not running away.
No, I'm not running away.
Yeah, and like it's good that like LeBlanc does. I think she doesn't mana for chain or something like that, right? But it's like so we have time to flash, but we don't do it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, I think that's good. Maybe a quick recap over the most important parts.
All right. So like the one thing, like if we keep playing Ziggs, right, like in the early game, is that we plan like what we actually want to do for the lane and like how to win the lane phase, right? Which is often gonna be by good resets, right? Because good resets give us better push than enemy, and better push than enemy gives us like a snowballing advantages, right? That's how we play this kind of champion. Yeah. Right. And then it's like later on into the game, there's a few things. One is camera movement, because that shit is awful. Agreed? Yes. One is your spacing and your limit knowledge, right? Because like let's be honest, like well, I mean, obviously, like, Ziggs is not like the best champion to climb with. I'm not gonna say it is. Still, I don't think it is. Like, at least not blind. It can be good as a counter pick, I think.
I mean, I'm gonna play it blind anyways. Like if I play a champion, I play the same champion like on one trick wise for at least 20 games, and then I decide if I keep going or
no, and that's alright. But my point is just then, like, if we wanna play the champion to like as high rank as we can, like to the limit of the champion, then we also have to play to the champion's limits, right? Inside of the game, right? So if we like are not willing to step up and dish out damage permanently, then that's an issue. And if we're not willing to grief to learn these things, we're never gonna learn.
Yes,
right?
No, I agree.
So we have to run down a few games. That's simply it.
I kind of like this early game.
Right. It's like, it's fine if we have these kind of games because, okay, maybe you don't know how to play this lane, but now you know. That's fine. But if you had played this game like you were scared the entire lane phase and you did nothing and she had a free lane phase and like it's up 20 CS, then that's worse. Right?
Yes, no, I agree.
At least we contested there. Right? We didn't do so in the correct way, but, you know, that's alright.
We tried some shit. It was really shitty, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's like we have to play to our limits more, like we have to space closer. Actually, don't think about, main thing is like don't think about your spacing, right? Simply, like just think about what enemy.
Yeah, that's something I need to actually write down as well.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, let's just say like, because if we have like, I don't know, enemies like playing fucking Aphelios, let's say, and they play like Braum, and then they play like, I don't fucking know, like some uses as jungler, Graves, let's say, because we were looking at that, right? And it's like, maybe they play Talia, because that's actually a good Ziggs matchup, right? And they, like, some random ass top lane, maybe they play Jax. These champions cannot get on top of you. So if you're playing on max, your max range, right? I mean, Jax flash maybe, or Braum flash maybe.
I mean, Talia ult, but that's also fake, because they just put E in the way.
Right, and you also, like, just W out.
I mean, that as well.
Yeah, so it's like, you have ways to play, right? It's like, my point is just that, like, if you're playing on your max range and you're throwing Qs on max range versus these champions, then you're griefing, agreed? Because then you're not dishing out the like as much damage as you can, right? So that's something we gotta work on, right? We have to think about what the enemy range is, right, mainly.
Yes.
That's what's important. This game, it was super clear. Or not this game, rather.
Yes.
And this game as well. So it's like, yeah, we can easily think about those things and do a lot more, right? Because our damage can be a lot better.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, and then, I mean, it's like you're trying a few builds right now, which is fine. I would think more about the builds sometimes. I mean, you seem to really like the burn build, and if that's the most success like people are having on it, like for all I care, go for it, but yeah.
I mean, in the Liandry's, I think Blackfire Torch is by far the best item as long as enemy doesn't go lifesteal. Like, it just does more damage. And then the Liandry's in the last game and like the versus to LeBlanc, I went just because it has HP. And it's like the best, it's like decent damage compared to the alternatives, and I survive a bit more.
Yeah.
And then the Rabadons there was like, yeah, well, I want flat damage because they don't have resist.
Yeah. And the last thing mainly that's super important to look at is like when we actually move on the map, right? Because it's like every time I see you move on the map, it doesn't really have a purpose. And some, like, I mean, in this game, especially we saw it, we kind of like, you know, lose half our HP bar because of it at one point. Like I think it's here. So it's like, and that cannot happen, right? Like, you're playing this champion. There's like, I don't know if I can't remember what his name is, but it's like there's an NA player that only plays Seraphine mainly, like in mid lane.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I remember watching him coach someone at some point, and he was like, yeah, you never move with this champion because you have no point to move, right? Like, unless you like have some really free play, right? Because if you move on the champion, you can't get back to lane. And Ziggs is similar in that sense, right?
You can jump some walls, but yeah, it's hard to get back to lane.
It depends on the matchup as well, right? In Tristana matchup, no, let's not do it, you know? Like, this is suicide. Okay. Because if he's a good player, he will punish it every time, right? But it's like, if it's like, I don't know, fucking some boring ass matchup, like you're playing like Ziggs versus, I don't know, Orianna, like maybe you can do something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Alright. Any other questions?
No, for me, this is good.
Why
not?
Sounds good. Then if you have anything in the future, just ask.
Yeah, I will.
Alright, and I hope it helps. I'll see you.
Yeah, it will help for sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Alright, awesome.
Awesome. See ya.
Yeah, see you, man.